Perfect. Hit the like. We about to pop off in a minute. The House of Cons, my nigga. If you real, you a real con, hit that like. If you pretending, if you know you in here pretending, go ahead and hit the dislike. We about to get into the lesson. I said no more public live streams on new material. I ain't say no more public live streams, salute. If you're ready for the show to pop off, it don't cost you nothing. Salute to all the real people that support, all the real cons that do support. Salute to all my members. Salute to all the subscribers. Hey, you know what? Middle finger to all the pretenders. Slim Bibby in the house. Got 6 people watching. I guess we ain't got. I guess out of 6 people, we ain't got but one real naga. We ain't got but one real con watching. We got 5 fake pretenders watching. I guess we got 5 so-called red men watching. We about to start though. Try boy, hit the like. If you a red man and you can't hit the like, go on and hit the dislike. Alright, we got 7 people watching. We got 3 likes. We got 3 real cons. I guess we got 4 $5 pretend. I guess we got 4 Dogs Road so-called red men here. If you a Dogs Road so-called red man, and you know it, hit the dislike me. We ain't gotta be beefing. We just finna talk about real history. Ain't no need to get in your business. Hit the dislike man though. We need the algorithm. Hit the like, hit the dislike. However you feel about the conversation we about to have, hit the like or the dislike. And we can turn on the phone lines. If you a Dogs Road Indian, if you a so-called red man, you want to get on the phone with me to speak your piece. Oh, make no mistake, we will open the phone line. We got 5 people watching. We got 4 likes. I guess we can start the show now. Salute. We got most of the real cons in here now. When I say tribe up, I mean tribe up. I mean gather up. Tribe up. Also, I mean we up. We up and everybody know we up. And this is a conversation that's not gonna stop. We're gonna continue this conversation no matter who mad about it and who don't like it. We can speak about a subject as intelligent adults. We can discuss a topic as intelligent adults. We can cover research. We can go over the facts and the truths. We can uncover the lies. We can do all of that as adults, no matter who you are. And we can do it with respect for each other. We don't have to call each other names. Salute. But we need to talk about truth and fiction. By the way, I'm Blackjack. Hit the like, subscribe, share the video if you haven't done so already with everybody you know. If you want to support monetarily, we got the Cash App at the top of the screen, cash.app/$ House of Cons. We know YouTube is not pushing this kind of material, so we got to push it ourselves. Monaga Tribe Buck, salute. Let's have this conversation. Title of the video, The So-Called Red Man. And we see the thumbnail from a third eye point of view. We look at everything over here from a third eye point of view. We don't just glance over stuff. We look at everything from a third eye point of view, not a bird eye point of view. A bird eye point of view, that's cool and all, but one thing about us over here, we ain't no bird brains. So we look at everything from a third eye point of view, not a bird eye point of view. Let's continue. So from a third eye point of view, back at this thumbnail that we just can't ignore, that we just can't get away from. And the thumbnail is an allegory of America, Manaka. An allegory of America. And whether you a Dawes Roll Native American or you a truly indigenous American Indian, we gotta look at this and we gotta look at it with truth, not with lies. We gotta look at it without emotions. We gotta look at it with honest truth. It don't matter if you a red man or a so-called red man, or if you a so-called black man. It don't matter if you a so-called white man. When we look at this image, we gotta be honest with ourselves on this allegory of America. Salute the only big tree in the house. So we're looking at this allegory of America. It's an allegory of America. Let's start right there. It's not an allegory of Europe, even though it's a European looking, or what some would say, so-called white woman in the picture, holding a flag of the United States of America. Let's start right there. We talking about the United States. We talking about North America. This is an allegory of the United States. And they got a white lady and two so-called black people. Let's go ahead and put it like it is. Two so-called black people at the bottom of the screen. But the two so-called black people that she looking down at, they got feathered headdresses and bow and arrow. And this allegory of America, first off, you can't try to say these are African slaves. Let's start right there. There's no way you can say these is African slaves. No way they will put African slaves on the allegory of America. I don't care what fictitious narrative you've been taught. These are American Indians, indigenous Americans that were colonized and enslaved on this allegory of America. And if we look closely at this allegory of America, she is pointing at something. Let's see what she's pointing at from a third eye point of view, not a bird eye point of view. And I'm gonna blow the screen up a little bit to make sure we all get a good picture of what she's pointing at. She has something to show the Indians. The so-called red man that we clearly see look to me more like so-called black men. But she's pointing out colonizers. Salute, tribe up. I mean, I understand. Everybody been taught to hijack history. We all. The so-called black man has been taught to hijack history, been miseducated. The so-called white man has been miseducated with a hijack history. The quote-unquote so-called red man has been miseducated with a hijack history. And the evidence speaks for itself. In modern times, in 2023, going on 2024, when the subject of a so-called red man, or the so-called quote-unquote Native American, when the subject of that come up, the first images we gather in our minds, no matter what you look like, are these. These are not indigenous Americans. Salute. Let me say it one more time. These are these people, these so-called quote-unquote red men are not N-O-T. They are not indigenous to America. Salute. Let me make sure I just want to make sure I was making myself clear. for the caption, I want to make sure the auto caption can be able to type out what I said very clearly. These are what we are taught, and what we are told today is what a Native American looked like. But when we look at real history, when we look at the facts that were written and recorded by people of ancient times who are no longer living today, we talking 2, 3, 4, 500-year-old documents and images. These documents and images were recorded at a time that no one who is presently on earth living today was around to see for themselves. So when we look at these 2, 3, 4, 500-year-old images of American Indians who are created by people that are no longer living, we don't see these people. What we see are these people. And they match exactly to the allegory of America. The true American Indian is the so-called black man, not the so-called red man. Tribe but salute. If you disagree, feel free to let me know in the chat. I know you in here watching. You know how I know you in here watching and you disagree? I know you in here watching, disagreeing, because we got 8 people watching, but we only got 6 likes. We got at least 1 so-called red man or 2 so-called red men in here that don't like the conversation being had and being very immature about it. Hit the dislike if you don't like what we're talking about, or go ahead and hit the like if you want to be honest with yourself. If you want to be dishonest with yourself, let me know in the chat. If you feel like the red man, the so-called red man, is the indigenous American, if you feel like it's these people, let me know in the chat. Like I said, we can open the phone lines and have a conversation. Salute, tribe up. But in the meanwhile, the conversation will continue. And the facts prove that the so-called Native American, which if you put in Google, this is what you get. The so-called red man is not indigenous to America. The true indigenous person to America is the so-called American black man, or the so-called American blackamoor. Not the American red man, the American black man, the American blackamoor. Feather up, authentic, historically correct. Everything historically correct. Everything from the imagery historically correct. And even when we blow up here, it tells you the genuine Native American darky, the real Yankee blackamoor. Not a red man. Not a red man. Never was, never has been, never will be. And we can talk about it. Because everybody came to America except for us. Except for us. We were always here since the beginning of time. And ain't a shadow of a doubt about it. Whether you look at the American Indian clocks created by the French circa 1800s, the Audubon Savage clocks. Whether you look at the earliest, the first, the original tobacco Indian statues carved by tobacco carvers from Europe who claim they never saw American Indians. We must take all this into consideration before we read one book about this topic, before we read one piece of legislation, before we read one law. An image is worth 1,000 words, and a 1,000-page document might not show you what your eyes can clearly show you. So again, conversation to be had. The so-called red man. The so-called red man. Anybody got an opinion they want to share? Let me know. We can put the number in the chat. If you got an opinion you want to share, or if you just want to shout your people out, we're going to put the number in the chat and we'll let y'all hit us up. It don't matter what side you on. If you believe the red man is real, hit me up. If you believe that America is the stronghold of the Naga, you can hit me up also. Tribe up. We got the number in the chat, 904-606-4506. Feel free to call in and share your opinion. No matter what side of the fence you on, if you somewhere in the middle, call in and share your opinion. But we must say, call in with respect. This is the House of Cons, and we don't tolerate no disrespect. Any disrespect will be reprimanded accordingly on site. Tribe up. And we got 12 people watching, but we ain't got but 7 likes. Don't tell me we ain't got 5 pretenders in here. I mean, we separating the real from the fake right now. It's a spiritual and a physical movement going on in America and around the entire world. We are self-identifying. We are who we say we are, and we know who we are. We ain't asking, we telling. Tribe up. Laws Boogie in the house, salute. People watching, 7 likes. Hit that like button. Let's rock the algorithm. Hit the like or the dislike. Like I'm saying, if you don't like the conversation, apparently you feel some kind of way. Maybe you ain't the so-called red man. Maybe you a so-called black man, and you feel like black people from Africa, you feel like we supposed to be on some Pan-African type of vibe. If you feel that way, call in and speak your piece. We ain't ducking no conversations. If y'all want to have them, let's have them. We got 10 people watching. I think a lot of people scared to have this conversation. And you know why they scared to have this conversation? That they running out the room. We down to 8 people watching with 7 likes. See, the pretenders running out the room. Whether they are pretend African or whether they are pretend red man, they running out the room. They do not want to have the conversation. Just based off the intro, we ain't even went nowhere. All we did was looked at the allegory, investigated the allegory from a third eye point of view. Then we made a comparison of the American so-called blackamoor, or the American black man, the so-called blackamoor. We just, all we did was compare to the allegory. The so-called American blackamoor, and we compared the so-called today's red man, people who swear that they the American Indian, that they the indigenous people. All we did was make comparison of them, the so-called red man, the Native American, versus the American blackamoors. Easily searchable on Google. The so-called black man versus the so-called red man. And we making comparisons with the allegory of America that we know is a European and 2 Indians at the bottom. I'm trying to have this conversation. I don't want nobody ducking the conversation, because we got all these trolls and people that be on the internet tarnishing the conversation. We ain't gonna join in on that. Let's be mature about it. Who want to be mature about it? Is it anybody out there want to be mature about it? We got 8 likes. And Lars Boogie say she would call in. Lars Boogie say they would call in, but they got a house full of loud ass knockers. It's all good, Lars Boogie. It's all good. I understand. It's the Shabbat. It's Saturday night. Knockers vibed up. Knockers clicking out. The weather getting nice outside. The temperature dropping. I've been on my fasting lately. My naga been dropping weight. The winter come. I like to work out during the winter, y'all. That's my style. You know, I'm an ex-football player. In high school and stuff, I played football, Hey, so like I like to work out in the wintertime. I like to jog and stuff. Like I might even do some videos while I'm jogging. You know what I'm saying? With a conversation, some music to it, showing a little bit. I might put my strap my action camera on my forehead, on my chest, and get out here on my jogging and show y'all, a little bit around my way. I might do something like that, throw a soundtrack to it. Yeah, I like to jog in the winter. I like to stay kind of trim and fit the best of my ability as we get older, Managa, because we're trying to have longevity. But yeah, hey Slim Baby laughing. They ain't trying to have this conversation, y'all. Why they ain't trying to? Anybody can tell me why they not trying to have this conversation. All they want to get in the chat and say go back to Africa. They want to diss us, call us the N-word. Y'all know the rest. But when it come down to having an honest intellectual conversation about the truth and history, it seems like they ducking that. And when I say they, I'm talking about the so-called red man. I'm talking about all the Dr. Umars of the world that's trying to convince Nagas to pack it up and leave their ancestral land, their homeland. I'm talking about all this deception. Nobody want to have the real conversation. And we can just start. We ain't got, like I said, we don't need no books. We don't, especially when you got your third eye point of view on, when you got your third eye open, that's all you need, man. All these books could have got burnt in the fire or disappeared, as long as these visions stayed. When you got a third eye point of view, you don't need nothing else. You need absolutely nothing else. We can start the conversation right here. Explain the images. Explain the historical images that's hundreds of years old. Hey, Lars Boogie says hoodie season in NYC. Yeah. Hoodies and ski masks and stuff. Nagas be out here. Ain't even COVID no more. Nagas masked up. I'm like, Naga, COVID is gone. What you doing with the mask on? Nagas like, hey man, Black Dad, you know how it is out here. I say, hey man, all right man, be careful. Hey, what? The so-called red man, Managa. Don't look red to me. That don't look red at all. I want to have the conversation with the U.S. government. Mr. President, I don't know if he a robot. I don't know if that's a clone. I don't know what Joe Biden got going. Mr. Joe Biden, though, if you watching tonight and you want to have a conversation about who the real indigenous American is it really a red man or is it a so-called black man? I mean, I know it ain't no question if you asking me. I got proof, mountains of proof. Like all the Nagas that was up in the mountain, Hey, only to say the word name Edom means red. Each of these words, the common meaning of red. Damn is the red blood, red ground. Edom is the color red. Adam is the red man. Hey, it's a lot of deception. But what we want to know, the main topic is why this allegory of America. And I can pull up, this allegory is old right here, y'all. This allegory is a couple hundred years old. This allegory of America, basically. It's in the y'all know what the allegory is, right? Everybody know what the allegory is, but let's go on and be scholarly about it though, and cover our bases. And let's just pull up the definition of what an allegory is. And right here, I'm just go right there on Google. And you got to go all over the world. Right there on Google, allegory is a story, poem, or picture that can be interpreted to reveal. It has a revelation, Managa. It reveals, to reveal. A revelation is to reveal, Managa. A hidden meaning, typically a moral or political one. It's revealing, it has a hidden revelation, a hidden meaning, Managa, an allegory. An allegory is a story or a picture, a poem, but this time the allegory we're looking at is a picture. It's a picture that has something to reveal about the so-called red man. This ancient allegory is older than everybody in the room. There's nobody in the room as old as this allegory that's showing, that's revealing the hidden American Indian, that's revealing the indigenous people of America. And when it comes to race, when it comes to the texture of your hair, they tell us that the American Indian was a red man, and we asking the question, does this allegory or does this picture that can be interpreted as a revelation to a hidden meaning, does it prove that the American Indian was a red man, or does it prove otherwise? That instead of being a red man, it was more like a so-called black man or so-called blackamoor. That's what the conversation that we got the phone line open. Anybody want to call in and say they part, call in. But we're gonna ask that you keep the message below 30 seconds in case we have other people calling. We don't want nobody being extra long-winded. 30 seconds, say your piece, shout your people out, and we'll leave that line open for someone else to give it a call. We're gonna pin the Y'all know we always leaning on the Bone Savage, right? We always lean on the Bone Savage over here for one reason. Because it's our work. The Bone Savage is our work, man. Y'all know we laid the foundation with the Bone Savage. We researched it thoroughly. We was like, why these clocks? When we found them, we was like, hold up. Why these clocks look like Indians? but they got nappy head and they so-called black people, and they call them blackamoors. And they look like the emblem of America. They look like the allegory. We asked ourselves why. We found these clocks. We were looking at these clocks like, dang, man, those are feathers. They was trying to say they was leaves. Then we were like, Bone Savage, what that mean? So we started looking up. What does Bone Savage mean in French. We found out that it meant noble savage. Then we went further. We were like, noble savage, what that mean? We looked up noble savage. We found out that it was a character it was an offensive character for the American Indian, and it all started to make sense. I was like, no wonder Megan Thee Stallion and Lil Webby and all of them be calling themselves, and all these little knockers be calling themselves savage. No wonder they be doing that. It all making sense. All the dots just start connecting over and over again. We always lean on this, and this is made, and they can't, and I'm gonna tell you one thing. They can't just say, oh, it's so-called black because that's what the material made off of. No, then why the eyes white? Why the feathers gold? Why the jury gold? It's black or so-called brown. Black depicting what it really is. The hair is nappy for a reason, and in fact, the object is made out of white porcelain. The object was painted. These are undeniable truths. This piece of truth is just as hardcore and just as much as a bombshell as this piece of truth. These are hardcore facts, hundreds of years old. Can't know, but the U.S. government can't deny it. Can't no Africans working in the store deny it. Can't no so-called red man on the Dawes Road in the reservation deny these things. None of these people were living in the times where this allegory was made. And what's an allegory again? An allegory is a story, a poem, a picture that can be interpreted to reveal. It's a revelation, a hidden meaning, typically a moral or a political one. And what is this allegory? What is this picture revealing? The true American Indian. It's not a red man. That's what it's revealing. What are the French 200+ year old noble savage clocks depicting? What are they revealing? They're revealing that the American Indian, that the indigenous American was never a red man. Never was. What are the tobacco Indians revealing? The tobacco Indians revealing that the American Indian was never a red man. It's all a lie. It's revealing that the out of Africa story is a lie. That the transatlantic slave trade didn't have you on the ship. In fact, they had other people on those ships. The people who we would call white people. You know who was on the ships of the transatlantic slave trades? They on the Allegory too. She's holding the flag. The indentured slaves that came from Europe. That's what it's revealing. That's what it's revealing. But all the so-called American, not African, American blackamoor, not African blackamoor, not African black, American black. Every last one of them reveal an American Indian. Everyone. And they dark with nappy hair. Every last one of them, whether it's a tobacco statue made by the Spanish or the British, or whether it's a French made American Indian clock, they all reveal the same thing. They all reveal the same thing. It don't matter if the Dutch made it, the porcelain Dutch statue, they all reveal the same thing. And what do they reveal? They reveal, the revelation that they make is that the genuine Native American is a darkie. The real Yankee, blackamoor, not a red man. That's what it reveals. Like I say, ain't no sense in beefing and arguing in the comment section with nobody and going back and forth and all of that. Let's just have a conversation. If you feel like you an American Indian and we not, let's talk about it. But 300 years ago, 400 years ago, all the evidence speaks for itself. So you could say whatever you want to, but it don't really change much. Hey, Battle Axe in the house, try, bro. I mean, I want to know what everybody thinking, man. Cause these is all truths. These is all truths. That like I say, we ain't gotta read one law, one piece of legislation. We ain't gotta read about Walter Plecker. We ain't gotta read all that. We can though. We can add that to it. That's just more evidence. That's just a mountain of evidence just piling on up. That's all that is. That's just extra dots to connect. We can start right here with one allegory. And can anybody explain? Not damn trying to say it's an African. Okay, if they Africans, then why it ain't no real Indian on the picture? So why it ain't no red man? Or if they Africans and the red man is the real Indian, why the red man ain't featured in the Allegory of America at all? I mean, these easy questions to talk about. It might not have easy answers, but they're easy questions that just by simple observation to say, okay, y'all saying this. Well, y'all got to make it make sense. You can't just pop off at the mouth saying one thing, saying, okay, all the so-called blackamoors from Africa and the red man is indigenous to America with no facts behind it. That don't, what do anything fly like that? Nowhere. Nothing flies like that nowhere. So we got to do better than that. You can't just pop off saying stuff with no facts behind what you saying. I don't care if you the U.S. guy. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you the Pope. I don't care if you the Pope, the U.S. I don't care who you are. In my eyes, ain't nothing more important than this right here. Besides the Most High and being healthy and taking care of your family. Next on the list is this: our identity. Everything else can stop till we get to the bottom of this. We already to the bottom of it, but we need to enforce what we know. We don't need to ask. We need to take our place. You know, they put in gold and jewels at the bottom of the sea that they tried to steal from you hundreds of years ago. Around the same time they was enslaving your ancestors and making these allegories down there in Colombia. The devil tried to steal a ship full of gold. The devil was so greedy that he loaded so much gold and jewelry that he looted out your mountains down there in Colombia and enslaved you to do it. He was so greedy he loaded the ship too heavy and it sunk to the bottom of the sea. You big dummy. But at the same time, they'll show you a cartoon picture of a so-called slave ship packed like sardines and tell you that's how you got here. Okay, let's connect one more dot on top of that. If y'all can go on radar and all this, and y'all can find an authentic, fully loaded treasure ship from the 1700s on the bottom of the ocean, still loaded with gold and treasures that you stole from Colombia. If you can find that, a ship over 300 years old on the bottom of the ocean, why can't you produce one slave ship? I mean, slavery was popping all the way through the 1800s, and you ain't got one ship. Did every ship sink? Did every slave ship sink? And if every slave ship did sink, how come you can't pull one up like you're trying to pull this treasure ship up? If every slave ship did sink, how did so many Nagas still end up in America? I mean, when somebody lying, it's very easy to call it out. Just keep asking questions, y'all. That's all. Oh yeah, you said this. Oh yeah, you said that. Oh yeah. They packed the ship, loaded, diamonds, gold, silver, enslaved the indigenous cons in Colombia and made them dig it out the mines. A lot of them died doing it. Packed that ship with it. That ship, the Most High sunk that ship. And they trying to get it from the bottom of the ocean today, y'all. All the Nagas' jewels. We got 10 people watching, 10 likes. I know we in the house of cons, man. We conned up. This how I like it, y'all. Strictly for my Nagas. Dang, y'all like that. Ain't got no haters in here. We done got rid of the haters. That's why I be talking slick sometimes. And run the haters off. But I offer them a challenge. I ain't never, y'all, hey, man, ask about Blackjack in the hood, man. Blackjack ain't never ducked no fade. I ain't never ducked the fade in my life. Even when it wasn't a one-on-one. I was still with the fade. Y'all got more than one. All right, let's do it. I don't run Naga. What I look like running Naga. We ain't playing football out here. Naga, y'all want smoke? Let's do it. That's the type of time Blackjack been on from day one since I was a kid. But I put the phone up in the chat. I called the so-called red man out in the title. I know they in here watching, and I know they in and out the room, but ain't none of them calling in. They ducking the fade. That's how I know they ain't no real con. They ain't no real Naga. Real Nagas don't duck the fade. Not in America. Nagas don't duck the fade in America. Somebody call you out on the fade in America, that's culture, that's tradition. A Naga say, oh yeah, you calling me out? Get that in. I called the pretender out. We've been live, they ain't in an hour, and the pretender ain't got nothing to say. We showed the proof in the pudding. They ain't got nothing to say. Yeah, I know I said no more public live streams. I was talking about discussing new material. This ain't nothing new right here, y'all. I ain't say no more live streams. I ain't say no more public lives. I said no more public lives with new drop. All that's in members only. Old stuff and radio, yeah, we're gonna still do on the public live stream. Like this. Everybody done seen this. Everybody know about these allegories of America. Has anybody just ever slowed down and discussed it from a third eye point of view? From a third eye, not a bird eye. Hey, y'all, we've been getting at this algorithm, attacking the algorithm. What we're trying to do, if everybody ain't noticed, we're trying to flood the internet with our information, take over the algorithm. When somebody type in Native American or American Indian, our material needs to start showing up, not all this other fake stuff. We need to flood the streets with the message. Straight up. They got 1 million videos calling themselves a red man, calling themselves indigenous to America, and we need 10 million videos. We need more work than them. We need to flood the internet with work till we get on everybody's nerves. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care they get on people's nerves. Like, he did it again? Yeah, I did it again. I run a 4-hour radio stream. I don't care. I go to the store while the radio running on auto. Come back, get on the air. I don't care, y'all. They gonna hear. They gonna hear what we got to say, whether they like it or not. Tribe up. But it's obvious that it ain't it on the real, y'all. It ain't no argument. It ain't no argument. Like anybody, like even from another so-called black man, ain't no argument. Like if another so-called black man feel like he from Africa and he want to go to Africa, man, more blessings to you, Con. I ain't stopping nobody from doing nothing they want to do. Cause like I don't need nobody working against me. Like even if it hit the fan, you know, the Pan-Africans ain't gonna be on our side anyway. They might help the white man. They might, cause the white man might say, the Europeans might say, yes, you know, all you so-called blacks, we got some ships waiting at the dock. We finna send all y'all to Africa, whether you like it or not. The Pan-Africans gonna be celebrating. They gonna be like, yes. People on the outside gonna be like, y'all crazy, this war. But guess whose side the Pan-Africans gonna get on? They gonna get on the KKK side, the European side. They gonna say, all right, boss, you got the ships waiting for us to go to Africa. We ready. The rest of them niggas, we don't know what's wrong with them. They gonna try to help the KKK come get us, y'all, and take us to Africa with them. That's what Umar and them will do. They can't stand us. That's why we must be enlightened, and we got to be ready for war, no matter who the enemy is. Salute, tribe up. No matter who the enemy is, Managa. And we in the state of war. We know we prisoners of war. You ain't finna tell us different, even if you look like us. You can get it too. Tribe up. It's a tribe thing. This ain't all about just colors, even though our tribe is our color. But everybody that's our color ain't in our tribe. Our enemies look like us too a lot of times. So, with that being said, we gotta move accordingly. And we gotta understand what we getting ourselves into, and we gotta understand who with us and who ain't. And like I say, when it hit the fan, I don't care the Pan-Africans that don't know no better. They want to just go ahead to Africa where they had their opportunity. Go ahead. Just don't, when the bullets start flying and everything hit the fan, don't be in our way. It definitely don't work against us. That's all we ask. Because if you do, you're going to get it too. I wish Dr. Umar would. I wish Joe Biden would said, all right, we got the ships ready. Umar, go round up your guys. And I wish Dr. Umar would come around here talking about, yeah, boss. Master say, let's go. He gonna get what's coming to him. So I'm gonna tell him, go get Joe Biden too. Straight up. Told y'all Black Jack a war chief. I ain't never claimed to be no spiritual leader. Even though I want to walk upright with the Most High. I want to do right. But I'm a man and I'm imperfect. And I'm a war chief, my nigga. I admit it. I ain't never claimed to be Mr. Righteous. I ain't the Pope. I'm just telling it like it is, my nigga. You know, when Yahshua came through with the sword, did everybody try to question if Yahshua was righteous, when Yahshua was taking heads and running people out the promised land? Did everybody say, Yahshua, you're being violent? Yeah, Manog, it's time for war, it's time for peace. Man, hey, I know a lot of people ain't prepared for this conversation. We tried to have it, and we're gonna continue to try to have it. Maybe later on down the line, people will start getting a little more courageous. I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna take, but the conversation got to be had, and everybody need to be included in the conversation. Not just us, not just the people that claim to be us, that they live on our land, and they got a hijacked belief system also. And it's a lot of them abroad. They got a hijacked belief system. We all running with a hijacked, brainwashed, indoctrination history we've been taught. And I know they're attacking the stream. I see it slowing down, but we ain't went nowhere yet. They trying to attack the stream, slow up the stream. I see what's going on. Yeah, sunken treasure ships, Managa. Sunken treasure ships, but no slave ship. They trying to slow the stream up. I see my meters like acting crazy on my software. It's sad, man. These are tactics they gotta do in 2023. They gotta do some cyber hacking. When the truth being exposed, only thing they can do is try to cyber hack it. That's crazy. So, I mean, y'all can cyber hack it. We just gonna do another stream tomorrow. I mean, it really don't matter at this point, man. Naga's putting out work out here, man. Naga's out here putting out 50 videos in over a 3-day weekend. Y'all think cyber hacking and all that gonna do anything? Nope. It ain't gonna do nothing. Yeah, no slave ship. 1700 ship though loaded with treasure, from heading from Colombia to Europe. Most High sunk that thing. The Most High said, "I'll be down, y'all. You greedy devils." The Most High said, "Not today, not today, devil." Sunk it. Look, tribe, boy. Look, won't he do it? Won't he do it? That's how the sisters be saying, won't he do it? That's how the Most High said that day. They thought they hadn't got off. They thought they hadn't made off. They said they went to Colombia and got all these native blackamoors from Colombia to go in the mountains. They got all the silver and the gold now. They enslaved them under the penalty of death. Say, go fetch us all you Nagas gold and silver out that mountain. We know y'all all up in the mountains. Go get us that gold and silver under the penalty of death and slavery. You kinky head texture, very dark Nagas. Not red men. So go get us that gold. They thought they hadn't made off. They loaded that ship. So that ship was going. They were loading more and more gold on that ship. The Europeans so dumb. Like they don't understand the weight in the water. And the boat got a weight. And they load more and more gold. They greed got the best in them. Things sunk. They say 600 colonizers or so died on that ship. Trying to go back to Spain with all the gold from Colombia. And they got the Navajo Indians to go get. Then they got the nerve today though, even though, like you still look like this, you just don't be rocking feathers. I be rocking my feathers. Even though y'all still look like this, and even though the allegory show y'all looking like this the same way, they got the nerve to tell y'all it's a red man and tell you from Africa. And not only do they got so-called blackamoors believing it, so-called American black people. Not only do they got them believing it, our people believing it, they got so-called white people believing it. Not only they got so-called black people, so-called white people believe in. They got the so-called red man believing it. They all on reservations getting drunk, gambling, spending money, spilling liquor, thinking that they the indigenous people of America. And they scared. They cowardly, scared to have this honest conversation. They just want to get on the internet and troll and talk noise in the comments instead of being very intellectual, instead of doing real research and studying. You ain't changed, Monogam. You might have been assimilated, but you still you. You know, they said they was killing Indians and making Negroes. They said kill the Indian, save the man. Hey y'all, we're gonna wrap this one up, man. I'm gonna be coming at y'all with more material, man. I'm about to be the hardest working Indian in show business. And I'm Black That. This is House of Cons. Y'all stay tribing up with me. I appreciate y'all. We out. Peace.